Okay, so when we last left off, you guys had managed to get yourselves in the beginning tests for the guild known as the Hellhounds. You arrived at the town of Luna. I don't remember how to pronounce it, but you arrived there by train, and immediately with the other recruits, you found that it was nightfall, so you retired to the tavern for the night. But you had been warned by one of the kobolds, Kip, that the test would start immediately, and during the night you guys would be ambushed. Of course, this is exactly what transpired. You were ambushed by 3 mannequins called blanks in the room that you were sleeping in. You fought them off quite easily, dispatched them, then retired for the evening, woke up, found that some of your other recruit members had not had as easy of a time, including a man named Peter, who you befriended. You were then given the second test, which was to find the Hellhound's base in the valley. You were given a map and told that you had till sundown to find it. You followed the map pretty well. I think, yes, you did. You discerned that the map was intentionally designed wrong, so you'd go in the wrong direction, but you figured that out. However, along your journey, you encountered a black bear, which you all fought and killed. And then after losing Peter, who ran because he was still injured and wasn't interested in fighting a bear, you guys found your way to the front of the Hellhound base, which was a large black stone citadel. As you rounded the corner to the front, you saw the other recruits who had made it, along with the proctor and Kip. And you guys, that's where we left off. So you guys are in front of the guild. The proctor is talking to some of the other members. You see guarding either side of the large stone door are 2 fire giants. And then with them each is 2 hellhounds. So they each have 2 dogs. And they see you. They notice you, but they pay you no mind. But as you approach, is there anything you'd like to do?
Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
Should I reload my spell slots, or
not yet? No.
They stay?
Yeah, you only do that at the end of a long rest.
Okay.
Yeah, since the fight, you haven't rested.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn my phone on mute because I forgot to. My bad. Okay, so is there anything you'd like to do?
It's us and then Peter, right?
Yeah, it's you and Soft Paws and Peter, the guy you've been teaming up with. Soft Paws.
Okay.
I will say this now, Brian is not here. So Soft Paws is going to take a more background approach. I'm going to, if there's combat, I'm not going to control him. I might just have him sit out. And up to a certain point, I might just completely, oh, he's not there with you guys at the moment. But as it stands, he is with you.
Okay, so he's just an NPC right now.
Yeah.
Could you describe the setting for me again? Because I totally blanked out.
So it's basically the base is a large obsidian rectangle just set in the side of a mountain. You did have to climb a pretty, not steep, but it was a workout climbing up to this point. And it's got no windows and no doors except for the ones at the front. And then those are just large stone doors with no, there's no writing, no hieroglyphs. It's just a plain stone slab, or 2 of them. And then the 2 fire giants and the 4 hellhounds, and then a little ways away, kind of just mulling about, talking amongst each other, are the other recruits and the proctor Rumanel, the man who has been overseeing the tests.
Oh, could I find our little cobalt friend?
Yeah, easily enough. You see him. He's standing there. He's not really communicating. He's just kind of tapping his foot, just killing time, waiting for something to happen.
Alright, I'd like to approach him and ask how his little trip to the tower was.
As you approach him, he throws his arms up and he goes, "Hey, look who made it!" And he seems genuinely excited to have someone to talk to. And he's like, well, it wasn't too bad. I went with some of the other recruits. This time I didn't get lost, and he looks very proud at that. And he's like, but yeah, we found it. We found it a couple hours ago. We're just waiting till everybody else gets here or until the proctor says test over. And you see he kind of like just absent-mindedly tapping his feet.
After he like says how like that he made it up and how proud he is of that, I'd like to like cast a minor illusion of like confetti and a
okay,
like,
yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
You do that, and he like gets a little startled, and he's like, "Oh, well, thank you." And he seems genuinely happy, like you've made his day, because you get the vibe he did. This is his second time taking the test, so you get the vibe that this means a lot to him. But he is very enthusiastic and very happy, and he's like, well, I've been around for a short amount of time, but you're a really good guy. And he like he can't pat you on the shoulder, but he holds his hand up for a high five.
I high five him.
All right. And then after a while, you notice a lot of the other recruits, including Peter, are looking very haggard. They aren't like on death's door, but they're like, Peter was still injured even when he was traveling with you guys. You did heal him, but he still had some lingering injuries, like, his arm is still in a sling. Well, no, I think you actually healed him enough his arm is not in a sling.
Yeah, I relocated it.
But he's still like he's not at full. He's still cognizant and he's still capable, but you get the vibe that if he doesn't get a long rest, he's probably not going to be too good in like a fighting situation. But you also know you're at the base, and as far as you know, combat shouldn't be happening. But is there anything else you... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but what was the kobold's name again? Because
Austin Kipp. O-S-T-A-N Kipp. K-I-P-P.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll ask Kipp if he has like anything, if he has any healing spells or know anybody that can heal.
Yeah, of course. Let me bring up his character sheet. Yeah, he's like, well, I am... Yes?
I do need to let my dog in because it's starting to rain.
Yeah.
And he's outside.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So Kip's like, well, I am a cleric. I could cast Cure Wounds. That should really make a difference.
Okay, yeah. And then I guess I'll pull Kip to Peter and then have him.
All right.
Heal.
So Kip comes over, and you see Peter. He's still out of breath from the climb. He's winded. You get the vibe he is a competent fighter. He's just having a bad day. So he's going to try and... Kip is going to cast Cure Wounds. That's... Okay. So he heals him for 13 points. And Peter is now back to full. And you can see as the magic like ebbs into him and fills his body, you can see this light silver glow overtake him. And you watch as the not blood-soaked, but the dirty bandages underneath, you see the cuts going away. You see that his like flesh is not as pale, much more colored. And he seems to be quite healthy now. And he looks at his arms, grabs his blade and gives it a couple practice swings, sheaths it. And he's like, I don't think I would have made it this far without any of you. And I appreciate that. And he's like, if you're ever in Polka, my hometown, just give my name and they'll help you out.
Okay.
Sorry for taking a drink. But is there anything else either of you would like to do before we carry on?
I'm all good.
Patrick?
Yeah, I'm all good too. I'll just wait.
So you guys wait, and eventually sundown does come. It takes a fair amount of time. You guys got there at like 2 in the afternoon, but it takes a couple hours. And you do see other recruits kind of filter in. Some of them looking, like, oh, this guy looks perfectly fine. And then you get a couple people who look pretty beaten up. And as nightfall approaches, eventually the proctor, Ruma, kind of like holds out his hand. And louder, you've experienced this before where he can like project his voice and make it louder. he basically does that, and kind of booming around the valley. He's like, well, those of you who are here, congratulations, you passed the second part of your test. And if any of you who have not found this location yet can't hear me, then too bad. And he kind of chuckles to himself. And he's like, at this point, I will turn it over to the proctor who will guide you through the remainder of your test, Lucius. And he gestures. Yes?
No, go on. I was just saying his name.
Okay, yeah. He goes, Lucius will take over, and he gestures to the forest. And at first you don't see anything, and then kind of like emerging out of the trees, you see an orc, a full-blooded orc, not a half-orc. Dull green skin with short blonde hair, kind of tied into a ponytail, wearing splint mail, which is a type of armor. And he kind of he comes out of the woods, and you swear there was nobody there a second ago, and he just kind of materialized. But he kind of like approaches, and you see he has. Say again.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if he like uses a spell of some kind?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
That's a 6.
A 6. It could have been magic. You're not. It could have been magic. It could have been just deft skill. You're not sure.
Okay. Waiting there for hours.
All right. But he approaches and he kind of pulls Ruma off to the side, and they have a hushed conversation. And if either of you two would like to listen in, which you can, I need you to give me a perception check just to see if you can hear.
That I'll give you.
Yeah.
Melody would be too interested in what they say, so I'm going to say I'm not going to listen in.
All right.
I got a 13.
13. It's hard to make out. They've walked a fair distance away. You can't see their lips to read. So you don't really gather what they're talking about, but they do notice you trying to listen in. But they like nod at each other, and you watch as Ruma, he's like, well, I'm off to find the failures. I hope the rest of this test sees you all well. And he starts to descend back down to the valley. And you see Lucius, he kind of approaches, and he's like, well, my name is Lucius Lynn. I am your new proctor. I will guide you through the interior of this wonderful fortress you will call home for a short period of time. And anytime you need a safe place, if you pass this test and you are made full hellhounds, this place is always open to you. And he like gestures, and the giants nod. And you watch as each giant grabs one side of the door and with great force begins to open it. And you get the feeling that these doors weigh a couple tons. Like, the idea of moving these without being a giant would be almost impossible. But they do open it. And as the sun begins to set and it begins to get darker, you see a nice warm light kind of pouring in from the interior. Where's my mouse? There we go. You see a nice warm light pouring in from the interior out to the cold, snowy the snowy ledge that you're on. And you can all see inside a large carpeted hallway with statues in intervals on each side and columns holding up the roof. And as you all enter, as everybody filters in, you hear the doors start to creak, and you turn and you see as the giants close them behind you. And you guys are now inside the Hellhound base. And you see Lucius, he's like taking a count, like he's going through and like 1, 2, he's counting out the recruits who passed. And he takes out a little notebook and he writes in it. And he's like, to start with, I'm going to have you all get into groups of 4. And that will be your group for the remainder of the test. He goes, I will allow you to pick, or I can pick. It's up to you. But he goes, but take a few minutes to decide who goes where and who goes with who.
I grab Melody on his shoulder and like ask him if he wants to be in a group with me.
Okay.
Sure, buddy. I didn't take you for that. kind who'd ask for. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'll join you.
Okay. And you see Kip. Kip kind of approach. He's like, "You guys, you've been very kind to me. I would be happy if you would allow me into your group."
Yeah, come on in, kid. Come on in.
And then you see Soft Paws. He's like, "I would also like to be a member of your group. We work well together."
I don't know. This guy seems fishy.
I want to get Peter instead, honestly.
It's up to you.
Patrick,
Nah.
what do you think?
He's my hunting partner. He has to come with.
Soft Paws?
Yes. We've hunted a bear together. Great times.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
We'll take Soft Paws.
All right. So eventually, after maybe a minute, and everybody kind of divides into their groups, you see Peter. He's in the group with the changeling and 2 other random people that you hadn't been introduced to. And there are about 6 groups of 4 each. And it worked out. There's no like stragglers. But Lucius says, so first off, welcome. And he like gestures and he goes, this is the Hall of Legend. And he goes, each statue is a member of the Hellhounds who has risen to fame and glory while in the organization. Maybe one day you'll have a statue, I don't know. But it's something to aim for. But then he's like, but for now, I will take you to the barracks where you can rest up. I assume it has been a hard day for the lot of you. I can see some of you have taken quite a beating. And then once morning rolls around, I myself will not be in charge of this, but a Hellhound member will guide you throughout the base. I'm just here as your general introduction, and I will be overseeing the overall test. But each of you will be assigned a guild member who will be your guide. But that's for the morning. And he's like, please just follow me. And he begins to lead you down the hallway. Is there anything you'd like to do before we move on?
Can I approach... Or, Patrick, you can go first.
Like I said, I'll just cast a perception check to see what's all around.
Yeah, make a
See
perception
if I can
check.
find anything.
And Eddie, what did you want to do?
I wanted to go up to Lucius and talk to him.
All right. He's like, oh, is there any questions I can answer for you?
I gave like real quick. It's winter time, right?
Yeah, it's winter.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to Lucius and be like, "Hey, you saw a bear like on the trail here? Like I was just wondering about that because it's winter time. Bears hibernate."
He goes, yes, they do hibernate, but lately their caves have been getting infested with creatures, forcing them out into the open, which is most likely why it even attacked you. We've been trying to keep whatever's infesting the caves out, but we've been having difficulty. The bears typically are aggressive, and if we go into a cave and there's a bear, and he like starts to ramble on, and he's like, we've tried.
Okay, that's like the big question I had.
Good question.
Campaign, and then
My perception check
that's all
was
I asked.
6.
6 perception. It's a nice hallway. There's like ornate statues. There's tapestries. They depict, some of them depict great battles. Some of them depict, treasure hoards. One of them depicts, and this is all something. A perception check. You're not like, there's nothing secret you're learning, but your general outlook on the room is easy. You don't need to roll too high. But if you want to get a better understanding, you would have to like make investigation checks and actually approach like a specific tapestry.
Out of all the hallways in my old village, this is by far one of the nicest I've ever seen.
Okay. But is there anything else you guys would like to do?
We have rooms, right?
He's taking you to them right now.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just asking because last time I kind of just ushered you through it. I'm gonna take some time and see, like, oh, do you want to do anything specific in this room rather than just be like, oh, on to the next part.
Okay, well, I'm all good.
You're good.
I did
Okay.
everything I wanted to.
All right. So he begins to lead you down the hallway, and it stretches for a good 100 feet, and there are statues along each side, and they go for a fair amount of time until eventually you hit a large double wooden door. Not as big as the main entrance, still quite sizable, but he easily himself opens them, and it opens into this large. As it opens, you hear boisterous yelling and music playing, and as it opens, you see it's kind of like a meeting hall with tables and chairs, and you see maybe 50 or 60 well armored, weapons on their back, scars on some of them, just random assortment of people, humans, elves, orcs, tabaxi, warforged, just down the list of races. You see them, and they're all drinking and eating and shouting and telling stories, and you get the idea that this is like the main hub. This is where people come to talk, where they come to drink, where they come to just enjoy each other's company. And at the far end, on a raised step, is a large silver throne that sits empty. But Lucius leads you in, and he like throws his arms up, and you see a couple of the other most of the people in the room kind of turn. They see all the new recruits, and they immediately raise their glass to a hurrah. And Lucius is like, get used to this, but this is the main meeting hall of your fellow guild members. It's open.
He just shouts out, hurrah!
There you go. As you shout this, they shout back. And you see some of them get up. They come over and they like start inspecting you guys, like checking your gear, shaking your hand. You see a dragonborn, deep blue scales kind of approach, wobbly, obviously drunk, as he approaches you, Sobek. And he gets real into your face, and he's like examining you. And he's like, for a second there, I could have sworn you were a dragonborn. And he slaps his arm on your shoulder and gives you a pat on the back.
How tall is he?
He's tall. He's like 8 feet.
Oh, he's my height.
Yeah, dragonborn are pretty big.
I guess I like extend my hand out to like as a friendly gesture.
He takes it and shakes it, and he says, I think you'll make a fine member. And he almost falls down. He's so drunk, and you can smell the alcohol in his breath, mixed with that hot ionized air when lightning strikes. But he wobbles back over to his seat, and he plops down and just goes back to eating his meal.
I like this guy.
But after a few, like maybe 30 seconds of them of examining you and like going over you, they're like, oh, they kind of, it's not that they lose attention or anything like that. It's more like, well, back to the food and drink. Like, they're like, we've seen enough, and they go back to their tables. But Lucius, he kind of continues on. He takes you to the right to a smaller door, like maybe like your average house door made of wood.
We're in the bathroom, okay?
And he's like, okay. It's like, this is the way to the barracks. It's a short trip, but you'll spend a lot of time here resting because we do work you pretty hard in the guild. But he takes you down, opens the door, and you see another long stone hallway. Doors peppered across each side, maybe at like 20-foot intervals. And as you're walking down this hallway, eventually you hit a left and right fork in the road. And he's like, to the right is the training area where you can hone your skills. But for now, we will go to the left to the barracks. And he takes you to the left to another set of wooden doors. He throws them open, and before you see a large room, maybe 50 feet across, and just bunk beds lining the walls. And he goes, this is where all the new recruits stay. The members, full-fledged members, will find themselves more accommodating rooms higher in the fort. But he goes, but for now, all of you rest up, and I'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
Melody shouts top bunk as he rushes to a bed.
All right. But
I'll
Sobek?
I'll I'll pick a smaller bunk. I don't want to. No, I'll pick on the bottom bunk. I don't want my big size having anything to do with. I don't want to crush somebody in the middle of the night.
Okay. Good point. You guys pick a bunk bed. Yes.
I was asking Patrick.
Oh, okay.
Patrick.
Yo.
We're bunkmates?
I guess so.
Alright.
All right, you guys bunk to the left along the wall. You get it's not like there's more bunks than there are people, so it's not like you're gonna have to fight over prime territory. But eventually the room kind of quiets down. People get into their beds. You see that the torches. You notice this immediately. The torches in here don't give off any heat. They do give off light, however. But as it gets deeper into the night, you watch as the torches slowly fade out until it's a dull, almost blue glow fills the room, kind of giving it this eerie, iridescent kind of look. But it's warm, it's dark, but it's relaxing, and it's a situation where you can find yourself easily to sleep. Now, is there anything you guys would like to do before we take a long rest?
I'd like to go back to the cafeteria kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
See what's going on in there.
Yeah. So, Sobek, are you going to join him, or is this just Melody?
That's just Melody. I'm falling to bed.
Okay, you're going to bed. Melody, as you get to the door and you open it, you see standing outside are 3 hellhounds dressed in different assortments of gear, and they're kind of like one has their back to you and the other 2 on the other side, and they see you and they like shoot you a look and they're like, shouldn't you be resting?
I'm just getting a lay of the land, exploring, seeing my new place of work as I completely ace these tests.
They're like, all right. Unfortunately, you can't just wander the halls. And they gesture to one of the guys. He'll take you wherever you need to go, whether it be to the mess hall, to the guild hall, wherever. But you will have to have a guide with you as precaution. You're not a full member yet, and
Okay.
Yeah, they're not like shooting you evil looks. It's more like this is for your own safety because there's some stuff in here.
Okay. Can I ask him if is a place to use the bathroom?
You see a tiefling. One of them is a tiefling. He goes, I can take you to the restroom real quick. It's no big deal.
I go to the restroom and then it would be like a room and I walk in. Is it like a public restroom or like a?
No, it's kind of like when you approach it and you open it. It's like stalls, like a public restroom. But they're not open. Like, it's just doors set in the stone, and when you open it, it's your own private room that's completely blocked off.
Okay, so if I went in there and I just happened to cast Disguise Self on myself to make myself look like a hellhound and walked out, would he be able to instantly tell it's me? Or
he's watching. If I see what you're trying to do, but he watched you go in, and if he watches you come out, he's gonna know something's up.
Okay.
You can still try.
Yeah,
Roll deception, Eddie.
I'll try.
All right. Make as you exit. Now, how would you make yourself look like a hellhound? Like, give me. You know what? Give me an intelligence.
I make myself look like the dragonborn that we met earlier.
Okay.
Because we heard him speak, right? So I can I can copy his voice. Alright, so let me just cast Disguise. You want me to cast Disguise Self?
Yes, Disguise Self.
Okay.
So you whip your fingers into the air and your form morphs into this blue dragonborn. Now, okay. Are you going to try and play it off like you walked into a stall that was already occupied?
Yes.
Because you can do that. I'm trying to help you. So
yeah, I'll do that.
As the blue dragonborn exits, give me a deception check to just because you can mimic him, but give me a deception check to see if you can pass as him.
Okay.
Man,
That's
I'm
a
counting
5.
sheep.
Oh,
I'm counting sheep right now.
5.
Yeah. So you open the door and you're like trying to mimic his walk, and you like turn and the
plus-
guys. Yes.
I know. I was just saying I have a +3 in deception.
So 8.
I'm made for this.
So 8 total. as you exit, you see the hellhound that was with you is just standing there with his arms crossed. And you like, for a brief second, he's like, wait a minute. And then he's like, oh. And he like tilts his head and he goes, very clever. But I know what Bruno's mannerisms are. And he like gestures. And he's like, now, I'm going to pretend this didn't happen. Because this could be automatic disqualification. Trying to infiltrate our compound. I'm going to count this off as a general curiosity. But do it again, and you'll automatically fail.
Okay, I'll end the spell and just go back to my room.
All right. He guides you back. And he, as you go in, he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and leans in and he says, to be honest, that was quite impressive. And if it had been anyone else, you may have fooled them. I'll remember your face. And he like pats you on the shoulder and pushes you into the room and shuts the door.
Ah!
Oh, you piece of garbage.
But
Kind of like angrily, not angry, but like kind of bitterly, like get into my bed and like start mumbling myself like,
all right. So you guys now, you can say you've taken a long rest, so you can recharge your hit points, spells. But yeah, so you guys get a long rest, and in the morning, as you all awaken, you see the doors closed, but you can hear boisterous conversation on the other side of the door. And as more of you wake up, and start to become aware, you see people. Some of the other recruits are. They're here fully, but you can see they're like shaken. Like maybe they weren't expecting the test to be this difficult. But Kip seems optimistic. A couple other recruits, like the changeling that you initially saw on the train, she looks completely stone faced, like she's unfazed. But
what was her race?
Changeling. Yeah, they can they can change their form at will to look like whatever they want.
Do they have like a base form or something?
Yeah, basically she looks like just a standard humanoid, but her skin is gray, her eyes are pupilless black, and her hair is like long white, or not long, bleached white. So she looks almost like an alien, but that's her base form. And both of you give me intelligence checks.
Intelligence?
Intelligence, yes.
Looking up a picture.
I have... That's an 18.
18. And
Did
Melody?
you say... What was the... Was intelligence?
Intelligence.
Okay. That's an 11.
All right. So, Sobek, you would know that changelings can change their form at will. They can, at any moment in time, they can look like whatever they want to look like. You get the feeling that you saw her conversing with the proctor, Numa, or Ruma. What is his name? God damn it, I don't know his name. Hold on, give me 10 seconds.
I don't know about you, Melody, but she gives me the creeps.
Ruma. You see, she was conversing with Ruma. You get the feeling that maybe she's purposefully not changing her appearance, so it doesn't look like so people know who she is and they can identify if, like, oh, this changeling is passing, rather than be like, oh, this random human, oh, now they're a dragonborn. I don't recognize this person. You get the feeling she's doing it to maintain her place and her passing grade, basically. Like, oh, I just want them to know who I am. Okay,
so that people can like put a face to them.
Yeah, exactly. So you You get the idea that that's exactly even with an 11. You get the idea that she's purposefully not changing her appearance.
Okay. Can I walk up and make conversation?
As you approach,
I kind of like tug on Solbeck's shirt to like get him to come with me.
I kind of like push him away. I don't want to go with him.
okay.
Alright, well I go alone then.
Well, as you go, Kip follows.
Okay, I'll take him.
But as you approach, she kind of like looks you up and down, and she's like, "Can I help you?"
I was just I saw you passing by and I figured I'd make conversation with some of the other recruits.
She like gives you like a curious look, and she's like, "Well, make conversation then. Where are you from? What are you?" And she starts
Crap,
laying
where am I
into
from?
you.
Hold on. I have to check my description real quick. Oh god.
Just like
Okay,
real life.
he's just like me. But okay. Alright. I tell her about like the city I'm from and like my hold on.
You're from Bleakwater, a small town.
Bleakwater, and then the time I my like distaste for tyrants, and like time I like I tried to what was it, like protest a king's law.
Yeah. You explain this to her, and she at first she seems very standoffish, arms crossed, just kind of like leaned back away from you. But as you go into your story and you explain yourself, she kind of like softens up a bit, and she's like, "Well, I think you'll do fine. I think you'll pass this test." And she looks at Kip and says, "Maybe." And then she kind of just
I like pull Kip in and be like, he is good. He's good with me, and he'll do just fine.
but she's like, "Whatever you say." But as she begins to like, she's gonna say something, the door kind of like flies open, and you see Lucius enter, along with 6 other, not heavily armored, but adventuring gear type, like adventurer types with their gear and all that, enter. And they're like, or Lucius kind of, his voice isn't as loud as Ruma's was, but it's still boisterous and carries in the room. And he's like, "Look alive. These are your guides for the remainder of your test. And I want to say this now, but you've all passed the first 2 portions of your test. You've each been given 2 points, depending on what. If you passed the ambush, 1 point, and if you got here before nightfall, 2 points. The next portion of your test will be worth 3 points." Hold on.
Points, huh?
Sorry, I'm just reading something.
Like, can I make a perception check to see if the Dragonborn is with them?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception. Please be there. That's also a fucking 13.
A 13. So, out of all of them, you see a mixture of half-orc, a couple of humans. You do see the Dragonborn, but he looks, he's got like his head, kind of like, he's like holding his head like he's got a headache. He's probably hungover. But you do see the Dragonborn. Oh, wait, what'd you roll for, Eddie?
I didn't roll.
That's weird.
anything.
It just popped up on my screen and said you rolled for Arcana. I think it's just lagging. That
That's
was
from earlier.
yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it just rolled up. It just showed up now. That's weird. Okay. Sorry about that. But you see the blue dragonborn, you see a cavalcade of others, and you see Lucius. He's like, "Okay, so this is where things get interesting." And he like throws his hand up, and you see the Hellhound members start to divvy up, and they go to group. You guys get a human-looking man. You know, he has like softer elven features, and his ears are slightly pointed, so you kind of get the idea he might be a half elf. But he kind of approaches you, and he holds up a small package, like maybe only a foot across, and it's wrapped in paper, got a wax seal, and he goes, "It's quite simple. You are to deliver this package to a man named Vikna in the town of Nota on the continent of Ubel. We will get you to the continent, but after that, it's up to you. Now, you have all the time in the world to deliver this parcel, but if you try to steal it or try to open it, you will automatically fail. Is that understood?"
Yes, understood.
I nod in agreement.
All right. He goes, "It's not a hard task. We expect it to take some time. That's why we've given you an unlimited time frame. You can take 10 days. You can take 100 days. It doesn't matter as long as it gets done. But I will reiterate, if you attempt to steal it or attempt to open it, you will automatically fail, and there's no coming back. This test will count for 3 points. You need 4 points to pass. As long as you deliver this," and he looks across all 4 of you, and he's like, "As long as it's delivered, you will become Hellhounds."
All right.
All right. Who's taking the package? He like holds it out, like who's taking it? What's going on?
I don't trust myself to not open it. I feel like Melody would open it.
Okay.
Notice.
Sobek?
I'm definitely not holding that.
Kip's
I think
go ahead.
we should have Soft Paws carry it. He seems like the kind of dude that.
Softpaws is also kind of like, I'm not too sure about that. But Kip is like, I'll do it. I won't open it.
How
I'm
big is this
trustworthy.
package?
How big is it?
Yeah.
It's like 6 inches wide, a foot across. It's like a big Amazon package, but like wrapped in brown paper.
Okay. Well, if Kip wants to hold it, then he can.
Kip's like, I'll take it. I'm trustworthy. And they like hand it over to him. And he like opens his pack and jams it in there and closes his pack back up. And he's like, "Well, how will we be getting to the continent of Ubel exactly? I mean, it's not like a simple boat ride will take more than a week." And
Question.
the half elf is like, "We will take you to one of our teleportation circles. It will take you to..." Hold on. "It'll take you to Mern, the capital city. From there, you are to find Nota on your own. You can ask around. You can buy a map if you want. But as long as you find it, that's all that matters."
Notice the town, right?
Say again?
Notice the town, right?
No. Yeah, the town is Nota. Noota. Continent of Ubel.
Okay.
And he goes, "But just to make things easier," and the guy pulls out 4 little coin purses and hands one to each of you. And he says, "Inside is 25 gold. You will receive another 25 upon your return. This is upfront. This is for supplies, for maps, for whatever you need to get the job done. The other 25 is your completion bonus."
Fine.
And then he says, "But I do warn you, the package is enchanted. We will know if you try and open it."
All right, I just added 25 gold to my inventory.
Yep, add 25 gold to your inventory.
Already on top of things.
All right. He goes, "Now, do you have any questions for me before I take you to those teleportation sigils?" And as he says this, you see other groups. The other groups are getting led out down into the hallway, leaving the barracks. You see the changeling, you see Peter, you see all of them heading out. Because if you have any questions about Mern or where you'll be going, I can give you a basic rundown.
Add gold to my inventory.
Yeah, 25.
I asked Lucius.
How
No,
do
I
I
asked.
add
Oh, how do you add it? Are you on mobile or are you on desktop?
I'm on desktop.
Okay. Go to inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Click on gold, which is to the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you just do add 25 gold pieces. Click add, and there you go. I got to do it for Kip, so hold on.
All right, I got you.
You can also type it. You don't got to, like, increase it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
buffoon.
35 gold.
Yep. But he goes, do you have any questions about Mern, the capital city? I can give you a base. I don't know current events, but I can give you a basic rundown.
What does Mern look like?
It's a... Hold on, I got a map. Where is my map? Oh, no. Hold on. This one.
I like to ask a question after I do this.
Okay. Here, ask your question while I open the map.
I was gonna say, do we know how civilized this place is?
He goes,
Is it mostly wilderness?
no, it's a capital city. It's known for its decadence, its harmonious race relation. It's currently ruled by a powerful cleric known as Saint Simon. I believe he's a dragonborn.
Melody kind of scoffs at like a higher like level person.
Oh, it's Saint Simon?
Somebody like ruling other people. He's not about that, you know? He's about the people.
He goes, well, Saint Simon is he's beloved by the people. He used to be a powerful adventurer, retired to the city, and now lords over it quite comfortably. But he goes, Mern is near the coast, but not a coastal city. He's like, it's a capital city, so it's on the larger side. I don't know much about current events. I don't travel there myself. But the sigil will take you to one of our secondary guild halls there, and then from there you can buy a map, you can ask for directions, whatever you want.
Right. I'm ready to go. I have all my stuff.
I like grab the rest of my items as I'm getting ready to walk to the teleportation city.
All right. You gather all your gear. Hold on. That's down here. I don't have a place for this. You gather all your gear, and he takes you down the hallway. You go back to where the fork in the road was, but instead of going straight to the right, you turn back towards the main guild hall. You pass through the main guild hall again, where all the people were, partying and enjoying themselves. It's a lot quieter now. There's some people eating like breakfast, but there's no alcohol. There's no, celebration. But they take you past the guild hall to the other side of the room through another set of doors to a large circular chamber. And how many? Hold on. And there are 3 sigils to the left and 3 to the right. 1 for each continent, not including the one you're currently on, because there's 7 continents.
Okay.
Alright. Sigil takes us to where we need to go.
Yep.
So we're there? Is what I'm here?
Yeah, you're at the sigil room, and he goes, that one. And he points to one of the ones across. And you see there is an attendant, like a robed figure at each sigil. And the guy, the half-elf who's guiding you is like, I'm not quite sure which one's right. I don't want to send you to the wrong place. And he, flags down one of the attendants who approaches and says, hey, they need to go to Mern, whichever sigil that is. And the attendant gives him a curious look and points over to one of the ones on the left. And then he's like, all right. And he gestures, just step inside and you'll teleport.
I whisper over to Kip, what a guide.
He's like, yeah, I'm not having the greatest of feelings of happiness right now. He's like, but maybe he's just a little slow. I don't know. And Kip kind of jumps into the sigil and he lands. And then he watches his body almost disintegrates and filters to the top of the room.
Melody shouts out in panic, Kip!
All
Okay.
right, I guess I'll like crack my neck and like I'll slowly walk into the sigil.
All right, you put one leg in and it starts to disintegrate as it kind of like pulls you in, and you're floating and you feel like wind whipping around you, and then the next thing you know you're in a torchlit room, standing next to Kip, who's like bent over, vomiting on the floor. And I need you to give me a Constitution check or saving
All
throw.
right,
And Melody, are
saving
you gonna
throw.
step through the portal?
I'm gonna as carefully as possible and
Okay.
slowly just step in there, like mumbling.
What dice do I use for saving throws?
D20.
Okay.
But Melody, as you slowly step in, you do feel yourself kind of like pulled into it slowly, and eventually you find yourself floating with wind whipping around you before you're deposited on the other side in the torchlit room. Since you went slowly, you went slow enough that you don't incur the possible Constitution saving throw, but you still are dizzy as you step out onto the wooden floor. But what'd you get, Sobek?
I got an 18.
18? You're fine. You're not throwing up. You've been through worse.
Melody's just kind of hunched over, like, oh god, that was.
Yeah, it's jolting. And you see Kip as he finishes vomiting, he like stands up, he's like, I don't want to do that again. I might just take a week-long boat ride instead. But you are in a dimly lit, windowless room. All of you give me perception checks.
Perception. God, I love perceiving things. I also don't like getting natural ones, so that's 5.
You hear a ringing in your ears as your body is still acclimating to the travel. What'd you get, Melody?
I got a 16.
16? You hear shouting, like loud shouting coming through the walls. And it sounds like it's just outside.
Is there a door somewhere around here?
Yeah, there's a door right in front of you. You see a little bit of light filtering in from underneath, like it's not leading to the outside, but it's got some light from either torch or windows. Do you open it?
Yeah. All
right.
I go through the door.
You open it and you're in a small lobby, and you see 2 robed figures kind of standing by the windows of this large room. They're wearing the Hellhound colors, similar to the attendants who were in the teleportation chamber. And they're currently looking out the window like just kind of like, oh dear, this isn't good.
Melody says, "Hey guys, who's here? Just got put on an assignment.
They like the 2
What
attendants.
is going on?"
Yeah, the 2 attendants jump. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, like gesture. There's a riot currently.
Riot.
He goes, you picked a very poor time to come to Mern, my friends.
Saint, what's his face is? Hey, King. Ah.
They're like, you see, a couple months ago. Hold on. A couple months ago, a disease started rampaging through the city called the Scaling, and about a week ago, Saint Simon issued a martial law across the city. People can't leave, people can't enter. It's hectic, but there's been other issues, and they like gesture. And you see out the window, you see that the rioters are like holding up an effigy of what looks like a black scaled dragonborn, and they're like, yeah, that's Saint Simon, and they're like, just kind of like it's on fire.
Yikes.
Effigy? Did you say?
What? Oh, effigy. Yeah,
It's an effigy.
it's just like a wooden or not wooden, like a straw doll.
Oh, like a scarecrow kind of
Yeah,
thing.
kinda.
Thank God he asked,
like
because
that-
I did not know.
Don't be afraid to
that
ask.
thing. Like that thing in London, like they do, like the Burning Man.
Kinda, yeah. Except it's smaller.
Okay.
Like it's the size of a person rather than like a giant statue.
Okay.
And they're like, it's on fire, and they're like chanting it through the street. And the two attendants like, well, whatever you're here. What are you here to do? What's going on?
We're here to deliver a package.
They're like, oh, I see. And they like look to each other and they say, you're new recruits, aren't you?
How could you tell? Yes, we are.
They're like, well, currently no one can leave the city. There's a gang of Duragar trying, along with the scaling, there's a gang of Duragar who came in to the city recently, and they've been causing more unrest. So the town guard locked the city down. No one can leave, no one can enter until such and such is fixed.
Okay. Where's Solbrick?
You guys are all standing in like the foyer.
Okay, so we're all together.
Yeah.
Anybody got any ideas?
Kip's like, well, maybe we should talk to the town guard. Maybe we can help them, and if we can get the martial law taken off, we can leave.
Good idea, Kip.
We are adventurers after all.
Who moved in recently?
Duragar.
Well, how did
Duragar? Yeah. Both of you give me nature checks.
Nature.
Sure. That's a 9.
14.
14. With a 14, it's easily enough. Duragar are a type of dwarf who are considered more evil than their, dwarven counterparts. They're like gray skin, like pupilless eyes. They live deep underground, like in the Underdark. Like with the drow and the mind flayers. They're more evil. It's not like, oh, they're like just like dwarves. They're evil. And why they moved in here, you don't know, but you know they are considered evil dwarves.
Okay. I'll relay that information to Sobek. And,
All right.
Is there a way out of this room, like to the outside?
Yeah, there's a double door leading right out into the riot, but they're like, if you want, you can take the back door and you won't have to go through all that.
No. We are going through the front door.
Yeah. I want to see if I can calm these people down. So.
And if they won't listen to reason, I will intimidate them.
Okay.
I am not afraid to beat up a crowd.
Alright. I look over to Kip and be like, stay by me. I've been in my fair share of riots, okay? So, let me tell you. So just stay by me. I'll protect you.
I've led quite a few.
Actually, no. You should probably stay by Solbeck. He's the big, strong guy. Alright, so... Yeah, I'll walk out with... I'll walk out into the front door.
Okay. As you exit, you see the streets are stone, but it's kind of muddy. It looks like it's rained recently. The skies are still overcast. Now, you guys were just on the continent of Reda, where the Hellhounds were. This one, let me just double check before I make a huge mistake. Yeah, Reda is in the far north. Like, I'm talking like Canada. So it's always cold. It's always pretty wintry.
Okay.
Ubel, the one you're in now... I went past it. My bad. Ubel is more on the southern equator. So it's more like a, not tropical, but like... kind of getting there, but it's more humid, more rainy. So, but when you exit, you see that there's a crowd of maybe 50 or 60 people chanting and burning this effigy, and you see some of them. What are your guys' passive perception?
Mine is 4 plus 4.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Hold on.
No, 14.
14.
I was reading the wrong
that's
thing.
why I was like, ugh, that's really that.
Yeah, I'm like, what the? What do you mean?
Wait, how do I check my passive perception?
It's to your left under
Oh,
save.
13.
Yeah, 13. All of you, including Kip, you can see maybe 10 or 12 people in the crowd are currently covered in bandages, but you can barely, peeking through, you can see that they are covered in like gray, almost like dragon scales. And they look very ill. And you see that they're kind of like in the center of the crowd, kind of holding up this burning scarecrow. But what do you guys want to do? What's your plan here?
I will. Did you want to do something, Patrick?
No. I'll let you lead.
Okay. I want to shout out to the crowd. Hey, listen. I enjoy a good riot as much as the next guy, but right now, you all need. If this is doing no good, go home, get rest, and me and my friends here will see what we can do to help you.
Give me a persuasion check.
This is why we let him do the talking. I got a +1. Team?
That's good.
Got a 15?
Yeah.
All right. So, as you do this, you watch as the crowd like slowly kind of like turns to you. Like they're still holding effigy, but they calm down. Like they're not chanting anymore. They're not shouting. And they're kind of like almost caught off guard. Like this random person is, trying to diffuse this situation. And for a brief period, they all calm down. And they look like, oh, what? Like they realize maybe they're taking this too far. However, as this happens, who has the highest passive perception?
Me.
You got a 14?
Yeah.
All right. You and Kip both notice coming from an alley, you see a short, stocky figure dressed in deep black robes holding what looks like a torch until he rears back and just throws it into the crowd, and you realize it's a Molotov cocktail.
What?
And it flies into the crowd.
What?
Hits the side of the crowd. I will roll damage real quick. You watch as it explodes and the fire spreads everywhere and the people begin to panic. You watch as 3 or 4 civilians just drop dead, burnt to crisp, rolling on the ground, slowly dying. The crowd begins shouting and panic and just begins to tear off in random directions. As Kip and Sobek, you see the hooded figure disappear into the alley and run deeper into the city.
What have I done?
How far is the alleyway?
Like 30 feet. It's just on the other side of the crowd.
Can I try to run over to the alleyway as fast as I can?
Yeah. Do you all do this?
I want to grab Kip and bring him over to the bodies and see if there's literally anything he can do.
Okay. Let me get his spells. I'm gonna have him roll medicine check. Real quick. We'll get to you in a second, Sobek.
Can I also roll a medicine check? To
Yes.
see if I can do anything?
I would say so because he rolled really low.
I got a 13.
13. They are hurt, but they're hurt to the point that they've died. They've passed on. You get the feeling that Kip, even being a cleric, at his current stature, he cannot revive the dead. He cannot use Revivify or anything that could bring someone back to life. They are too far gone. However, on the outskirts of the explosion, you do see there may be like 2 or 3 people who have, put out the fire and are now like holding their arms, holding their legs in pain. And with your medicine check, you're able to like immediately get on the situation and you take out some bandage and you wrap it around. And without using healing magic, you're able to stave off their wounds and possibly save their limbs from further damage.
Okay.
Sobek, you and Softpaws tear off into the alley. And as you do, Hold on, let me bring up. I'm gonna bring up Brian's character sheet just so I have it.
Molotov.
Molotov is crazy.
All right, I got his sheet open, but you tear off in the alleyway and you see farther down the figure is like hunched over almost looks like a barrel and he's reaching in trying to grab something.
How far is he away from me?
He's at the other end of the alley, so like 30 feet. And the
All right,
alley, it doesn't dead end, it keeps going, but he's like stopped at the exit of the other side, just rummaging through it. Looks like a satchel.
If the distance is as much as my walking feet, do I still technically hit him or no?
What do you mean?
He's 30 feet away, and I have 30 feet walking distance.
Then you're in range of this. You'll be in range.
Okay. So I guess I charge him, and then I immediately try to like grab him by the rope,
And you're trying to like tackle him.
or like lift him up.
Okay, give me a strength check.
All right, strength check.
It's your speciality, Patrick.
Fuck! Are you kidding?
I don't like the sound of that.
Natural 1.
Oh my god!
So it's a 5. I got a 5.
All right.
Did not
So you
go
run
well
up
with
and you go to grab this figure and you wrap your arms around, but you're in a bad position and you slip on the mud and you both just tumble to the ground.
Do I get to still continue?
I need you guys to roll initiative. All of
initiative,
you.
right. Alright.
All of us?
Yep. Because this will, like,
Okay.
even though you're not in the battle, this will determine how quickly you can get to them.
Okay.
I got a
I got
14.
19.
So hold on.
That was an intelligence save, Eddie.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, crap. Oh, okay. I just saw, like, the first letters for...
So 13.
Okay. That's 13. My bad.
I gotta roll for soft pause and Kip. Soft pause.
I just saw, the first 3 letters, and it's
Oh, yeah. Let me roll for Kip. And it bounced out of the tray, and I've lost it forever.
Don't worry, guys. Intelligence saving throw.
What about what did you get, Patrick? So
I got a 14.
All right. So as you both slip in the
I'm
mud
so
and
proud, too.
you slip in the mud and hit the ground, you watch as the figure throws off his cloak, and you see a dwarven stature, but deep gray skin. And you see on his back is a large war pick, and he like grabs it, hits it to his side, and he's gonna make an attack against you. That's a 23 to hit.
Oh my!
23?
I was about to be all cock.
Okay, you take 5 points of piercing damage as he takes his war pick and drives it into your side.
Ooh, that hurt.
And he like gets like a sickening smile and he's like, "You've made a mistake." And he's like just staring you down.
Right, alright.
Sobek, it's your turn.
Like that, huh? I got you, man. Alright. It's a D.
D20.
It's a
to hit.
D20.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'll go for. I don't want to hurt him. I want to try to get information out of him. So I'll go for an unarmed strike for now.
Well, here's the thing. If you're attacking him, you can say, "I want my attacks to be non-lethal." So you'll
okay.
still do like if say you have a what's your weapon?
Halberd.
A halberd. So in this situation, you can be like, "I want to hurt him, but I don't want to kill him," and you still do your damage. I'm just taking the effect like you're hitting him with the blunt end.
Okay.
You're still doing
Makes
full
sense.
damage, but you're not trying to kill him.
Alright.
So go ahead and
sense.
make your attack roll.
So I'm using a halberd.
Yep.
My attack roll does a 16 hit.
That just hits.
Nice. Now time to roll for damage. Where's my D10? First time I ever used D10, to be honest. I don't know what this quite looks like.
D10 is the one. It's like almost like a flying saucer.
Oh, okay. So it's the same as the percentage one.
Yeah, it's just the opposite. Instead of having instead of having an extra number, it's just one.
Okay. So I got an 8 plus 4. That is 12.
12 damage. So he hits you with his war pick and he smiles. You're standing, you're towering above him. You just take your halberd and like hit him in the jaw real quick, and it like knocks him back. He takes a few steps back, stars in his eyes. Where'd my pen go? Melody, you're up. Hold on. Do you want to rage, Sobek? It's up to you.
I do have hungry jaws.
Oh, you do. That's right. You have a
Also,
bonus.
Patrick, you have soft paws with you.
Yeah, soft pause is in the initiative.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be rushing over it too, so I would save the rage. That's just me.
It's up to you. Your bonus action can either be rage or hungry jaws.
I'm using hungry jaws.
Make your attack roll.
Mark that off real quick. All right. Oh yeah, this 21 to hit.
21, that'll hit.
All right, and my damage will be that is 10.
10, okay.
I want to make this non-lethal.
Yeah, so you hit him with the halberd, and while he's dazed, you like grab him by both shoulders and just chomp into his shoulder. He lets out like this awful like guttural screech as he shakes you off, still standing. But he looks really bad.
You made the mistake, you fool.
Melody, you're up.
Okay, so how far away would you say they are from me?
You are about 15 feet from the entrance to the alleyway. You cannot see. You're at an angle that you can't see farther down it, but you know that's where Sobek went.
Okay. I'll yell to Kip that stay with injured and help them as much as you can, and I'll just rush over to the fight.
All right. You take your movement and you hit the edge of the alleyway, and you can see farther down, about another 30 feet, you can see Sobek engaged with this dwarven-looking enemy.
Okay. Let me look at my spells. Alright, I'll run in another 15 feet because that's all I can do.
Well, do you have any spells that can reach out that far?
Yeah, I do. I'm just saying I run over that, run over 15 feet because I only have 15 feet of water.
Okay. And then, you're 15 feet into the alleyway, about 15 feet left till you're at them.
Yeah. And I'll cast Vicious Mockery, which has a range of 60 feet.
All right. And it's a saving throw, right?
Yeah.
That's a total of, what am I, wisdom?
Yes.
16.
That saves.
All right, so you lash out with these poisonous words. You see him like grab the side of his head before he shakes it off, and locks his attention back onto Sobek.
The words are just short.
All right. You got anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's all I can do.
All right, it is now. I think it's Softpaw's turn. He's gonna pull out his short bow and hit for a total of. Well, that's good. So you see the arrow fly out and hit the Durgar in the shoulder. He like reels back, releasing his grip on you, Sobek, but he's still standing. You hear shouting from the main way behind you, and Melody, you can see heavily armored guards are making their way through the crowd trying to get to your position.
My position?
Yeah, trying to get to you. Like, not like bad guys. Like, they look like town guard.
Okay.
But you also see Kip, like, pointing, like, in your general direction, guiding them.
Okay, I thought they were coming to arrest me or something.
No. Kip is like, hey, go help him.
You there! Stop that!
But Kip's going to use his turn to do that. It is now the Durgar's turn. You all watch as he just vanishes. Just disappears.
He vanishes? Odd.
But, Sobek, you get an attack of opportunity at disadvantage. Because he is trying to break free from the fight, but he is not disengaging. So you know where he was, and as he disappears, you get 1 free strike, so go ahead and roll to see if you hit him.
Can I do a bonus action for that?
What would you like to do?
Marking for the calendars. I will see him trying to run away, and then I will go into a rage state.
All right.
Let's see.
He's enraged at the fact that his opponent is trying to escape.
You motherfucker! It was just getting good. All right, so I have a disadvantage against my hits.
Disadvantage, so roll twice, take the lowest.
Okay. So hit him with my halberd, trying to knock him off his feet.
Okay.
Okay, I got 9 plus 6. What's
So
that?
15.
I got 15.
Unfortunately, you swing where you think he is, and he just hits the air.
That's
And you hear footfalls as he runs back out of the alleyway and into the other street, disappearing.
So we're out of combat?
Yes, I will say you're out of combat. And as you're out of combat, you see Kip and the guard round into the alleyway. And the guard like, what happened?
Can I do an Arcana check before I to
Yes.
See it? I just want to see like what kind of spell he would have used. That's a 16.
16?
Yeah.
So, you remember in one of the books you read a long time ago, Durgar have the ability to turn invisible at will.
Damn it!
So you get the feeling that's exactly what happened in this situation.
I'll tell the guards that he's Durgard, and Durgard's turn invisible at will, and he threw a Molotov into a crowd of people as I was calming them down like an expert, and he threw a Molotov, killed at least 2 people, I think it was, and then went away.
All right. As you're explaining this, you see all of the heavily armored guards, they're in leather and shields. They're not like kitted out. But you do see slowly moving his way through is a halfling with standard guard leathers, but he's got like a little bit of like what's the word? Almost like a gold tassel on his shoulder denoting a higher rank. And he's also got like a gold badge on his right breastplate. And he kind of pushes his way through the guards. He's like, "What's damn Durgar?" And he like spits on the ground. And he kind of looks. Yes.
All right, can I do something real quick?
What would you like?
So
to do?
they're I think they're. How far are they from me?
They're at the other end of the alley. You're at one end. They're at the other.
So I think that's like maybe 15 feet.
About 15 feet.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything around me? Anything at all?
There's piles of garbage. There's like a couple doors leading into houses.
Oh, okay. Any barrels?
There's a barrel.
Oh, can I? Can I like say that I'm like still suffering a little bit from the rage? So I like pick up the barrel and I just throw it somewhere in the alley.
Yeah, give me a strength check.
Oh yes.
Should I make actually I'll wait for him.
I should throw it at. I should throw it at all of you. I should, but I'm not. I'm just gonna throw it off in a random direction.
What'd you say, Melody?
Okay. I was gonna say if I should make a saving throw of some kind.
No, he's not throwing it at you. Unless he wants
18.
18. So you take the barrel and you huck it on the other side. It smashes into the wall and just shatters as these slimy green pickles just fall off to the ground.
I destroyed that thing.
But Soft Paws, at this point, Soft Paws, he kind of like, you watch as he kind of disappears into one of these side alleys and just hides. But Melody, the halfling guard, kind of approaches you, and he nods to you and nods to Kip and says, "Some of the civilians told us you tried to lend aid. I appreciate that."
Yeah. I kind of like, because I'm so angry or bitter from like the dwarf killing innocent people. So I kind of like angrily say like, yeah, sure stuff. Where's Saint Simon? We need to have a word.
He goes, well, Saint Simon's in the palace. You can't get an audience with him that easily.
What stuff?
We just, first of all, what were they called? Dormgard?
Duragar.
A Duragar just threw a Molotov into a crowd of innocent people and killed quite a few of them. You need to talk to your boss.
He goes, you can't see an audience with Saint Simon, but I could get you an audience with one of his advisors. I mean, it's the least I could do after what you did. And he like looks you over and says, who are you? Where did you come from?
We're from the Hellhounds.
As you say that, his like eyes light up. He goes, Hellhounds? The Hellhounds?
One and only.
He's like, well, knowing that, I could get you a meeting with Penrose, possibly. She could possibly help you in any way you need. I mean, did they send you to help us? What's going on? We haven't called for aid yet.
Word gets around fast. We were sent to help keep the situation under control.
Make a deception check.
I was gonna say, that's a lie. As he's doing that, can I like?
Can I do performance instead? Because
no, because you are trying to lie.
okay.
If you were telling like a half truth that you could get away with it, a 9.
I mean, I'm kind of telling a half truth.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll give you
kind
advantage.
of.
I'll give you advantage since you helped the civilians first.
Okay. A 9, or no, that's 12.
12.
I thought it was a 9.
He kind of like looks you over and he goes, well, we'll take all the help we can get. He goes, I'll take you to Chancellor Penrose. He'll give you more information. And he like gestures and the guards kind of like part as he like gestures for you to follow.
I shout to Solbeck and say, hey, going over to this palace, whatever. Follow us. Might get info.
I kind of like turn back, like blood in my mouth, and just roar at him.
All right, you, Kip, Softpaws, you guys, Kip and Softpaws follow the halfling. He takes you as you exit the alleyway. You do see guards are tending to the injured, and you do see a couple civilians like crying over those who had been killed. You see some of the clerics, maybe from a local temple, are using healing magic, but they don't seem to be able to do anything about the deceased. But the halfling takes you past them, down a couple streets until you hit a large marble building, which it stands out from the stone and brick. This one is like almost like a deep gray marble with hints of blue, kind of like etching, almost like lightning. And he kind of leads you up the steps to the front door, and he turns and says, now, before I take you to Pin, I should warn you, he can be quite abrasive. He can be quite mean, but he means well.
He? I thought we were
Oh, she, yes. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
Okay.
She means well. Thank you for catching that. But the halfling goes, so just be prepared, as he like opens the door. And as you enter, you see a large entryway full of loud, yammering people just trying to get to what looks like a front desk. And as the halfling like is like pushing through people, like order of the guard, move out of the way, please. Order of the guard. And he like takes you to the desk, which, as he approaches, is maybe a foot taller than him. And you see behind it, there's a counter of. Behind the counter, there's a couple human women just like handing out paperwork, stamping certain things, and the halfling goes, "Hey, just tell them Pence is looking for Pin, and they'll do the rest."
With my incredible charm, tell him what he just said.
Okay. One of the ladies like, "Oh, Pence, yes. One moment," and she disappears behind the counter. She comes back and she's like, "Please," and she like goes to the left and opens up like a little door that allows you back. And she goes, "Pin will see you. Just please be quick." And as you file in behind the counter, you do hear shouts from the other civilians, kind of like, "Hey, what do you mean? I've been here for like an hour," and like they're shouting. But they lead you behind the counter, around to the back, up a flight of stairs till you hit like a bay of offices. And Pence is like, I'll say it one more time. Just be as courteous as you can, as kind as you can, and things should go swimmingly. If you mention you're a hellhound, even better.
Alright.
But he leads you to a small door. He kind of like knocks on it, and you hear like a disgruntled, "Come in." And as he opens the door, you see a small office with, on the left-hand wall, just a plethora of medals, diplomas, just a plethora of like achievements or awards scattered across the wall. And to the right, you see a large cork board covered in pictures, red line, and you see standing before it a elven woman dressed in a blue robe. Her hair is long, tied into a ponytail, and her back is to you as she's like examining the corkboard, just kind of like muttering to herself. And she goes, "Yes."
As we go in, I whisper to Pence. What was his name?
Pence. P-E-N-C-E.
I whispered to Pence, "Hey, sorry about snapping at you earlier. This day's been kind of rough for all of us."
He's like, after all you've done, it's not a big deal. Just don't do that in front of Pin.
There's also another crazy thing. Technically, I didn't go with the party, so I'm just still in the alleyway.
Do you want to still be in the alleyway?
Yeah, I'm still in the alleyway.
Okay.
He's just like tossing stuff, like just.
What the hell, bro?
All right.
That's probably better, anyways, because
Yeah.
he's not exactly a people.
I'll say Soft Paw stayed with you just so you have another person. But eventually, Pence is like, Madam Rose, these hellhounds are here to help us. And you see her kind of like straighten up, and she spins around on her heel. She goes, "Hellhounds." She like looks the two of you over. And she's like, "All right. Produce your medallions so that I know you are members."
Can I do a minor illusion of a medallion?
Yes. Give me a sleight of hand check first. As you try and you like reach into your pocket and cast a spell to see if she notices.
19.
19.
Oh.
You definitely, as you reach in, like you're acting like you're fumbling for it, you cast the spell and you pull out a medallion. But you don't know what a hellhound medallion looks like.
Oh!
So, what do you want it to look like? And I'll say, give me like a base intelligence check to see if you can come up with something that might trick her.
Intelligence check? So
Yes, intelligence.
Let me just roll a d20.
D20, yeah.
While he's doing that, can I exit the alleyway?
Yes, just give me one moment.
without any of the like
Well, it'd
buffs
be
or whatever.
it'd be intelligence for you. So just let me see what yours is.
Mine is 14 plus 2.
Yeah, so
It's
60.
a plus 2.
Okay. So
No, I mean no, I didn't roll yet. Like,
so
I pressed the intelligence button.
yeah, you press the intelligence.
I don't know
my
what.
bad, my bad.
Okay, I don't know what base means. That's another 19.
Okay. You kind of like just gauging on how the hellhounds look and how they carry themselves. You kind of mold a medallion that might fool her, and you kind of flash it. You have the brief idea. You just flash it and put it away, so she doesn't get a really good look at it. But she's like, oh, excellent. Now, if you're here to help, I can offer you a contract for 200 gold if you can find the location of the Duragar's base. Simple as that. No killing, no maiming. Just find us his base, 200 gold in your pocket.
So what you're saying is we can't kill it. Like, there's absolute if we kill or hurt anybody, the
No,
contract's
if
off.
you kill a Duragar, that's fine. They're all against us at this point. You see, they're part of a gang called the Harvesters.
Alright.
They were harvesting those Molotovs.
Yeah, we can do that for you. You know, with seasoned as adventurers, we do that for you.
Hold on. He says, you see, or not Pence, Pin says, you see, the Duragar came from a place called Iron Slag. It's a mountain in the north, not a big deal. It recently erupted, and we've been taking in refugees of dwarves, Duragar, drow. Some of them are perfectly fine, but some of them, like the Harvesters, they're not good people. So, 200 gold, find their base. You kill any in the meantime, that's fine. No extra gold, no less gold. All you care about is the base. And I will say, this will look very positive on the Hellhounds.
Yeah, we can do that for you. We're just
She goes, excellent. Now, I can't tell you where their base is in the city. I can't even give you a gist. The guards, the people who would know, aren't very, they're not very they're not very open to the guard. So you may have to finagle your way into the underbelly, ask the street urchins, the undesirables, the ones who live in the slums. They might know more. They're the only ones who won't talk to the guard. They're the only ones who might know where the Durgar are hiding.
okay. Where is this underground area?
Oh, it's not underground. It's just it's a term, like a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're in the slums. It's in the poor section of the city. Now,
Okay.
Pence can guide you there, and from there you can do whatever you like. But before that, Sobek, what were you doing?
I was just exiting the alleyway.
Okay. Which side? The one with the injured, or the one that Durgar went down?
The one that Duragar went down, I guess.
All right.
Because I think that's closer.
All right. You exit. Is there anything you'd like to do or look for?
Yes. I would actually like to look for a see if they have a hunting vendor or something.
Yeah. Like a huntsman? Like
Yeah, of
trophies
course.
and stuff like that?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
anything hunting related.
Give me an investigation check. As
Okay.
you ask locals, because you don't know the city, so you have to ask.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
actually have to ask someone like, "Hey, can you guide me in this direction?"
That's a 6.
6. So you ask, and a couple people like, oh, they like look like you're towering above them. They're like, sorry, can't help you, and they like grab their groceries and hustle down the street.
Yeah, but
Why we didn't bring Soul back?
you tried to bring me hush.
But Melody and Kip, Pence lead you out through the crowd, who's still angry, back out to the street, and he's like, the slums are pretty dangerous. So before that, I'll take you to the Gallant Goblin. It's an inn run by a friend of mine, Mike Soul. It's a place where you can stay on the cheap, and if you want, you can use it like a base of operations as you explore the city.
Before we do anything, can I say that like I try to calm down the crowd again and like try to send them home?
Yeah, the crowd inside.
Oh no, I thought you meant like that crowd of people like gathered. I thought we were exiting and like we
Yep.
saw that crowd of people.
No, there's a crowd.
Outside,
There was a crowd inside the building who's like shouting as they see like, "Hey, they cut the line," stuff like that. There's no crowd outside. It's more. It's not like a
Oh,
riot.
well,
It's more like.
I'll see if I can calm these people down.
Give me a
I
persuasion
guess,
check.
'cause- 7.
So you kind of like, "Hey," you like try to calm them down, and they just like start shouting louder. And Penn's like, "Maybe we should leave." And he like starts ushering you and Kip out to the exterior of the building.
I just imagine they just start throwing tomatoes.
Well, they don't have any, but if they did. But he takes you outside and says, "I'll take you to the Gallant Goblin. You can rest up there, meet up with your allies, stuff like that."
Man, I love that tavern. The Mind Goblin, was it?
No, the Gallant Goblin.
I know.
It's a goblin on these nuts joke.
Oh, he knows.
I know the
But
joke.
can I like continue to ask people about where the vendor is?
You can make another investigation check, but it's going to be... The way it works is the more times you do it, the higher the DC goes up.
I mean,
It means, like, the harder it's going to be. Like, say you only needed to roll a 10, now you might need to roll a 12.
oh, okay.
Just the more...
Yeah,
it's like, that way you can't infinitely do it until you get it.
All right, that's fine. Here we go. That is a 15.
15. Eventually, you run into like an orc gentleman who's not intimidated by you. He's like, "Oh, if you're looking for a place for hunting trophies, you can always try the Gray Fox. It's just down the road."
I kind of like nod him down like as a sign of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like walk towards that direction.
All right. As you and Softpaws approach basically a bend in the road, you do see a small building with a sign that says the Gray Fox, and on either side it has two little what look like taxidermy fox heads on either side.
All right. I guess I guess I walk in.
All right. As you enter, you see a what race? Hold on.
The Lupin.
You see a tabaxi gentleman dressed in like a dirty apron, standard street clothes, just sitting behind the counter asleep.
Okay.
Just kind of like sitting there, eyes closed, just rocking back and forth.
I kind of like just walk up to the counter and just like I guess slightly tap on the counter.
And you see he doesn't like jolt, his eyes just slowly open and he locks on you and he goes, "Ah, customer, how may I help you?"
I'd like to browse your selection of items.
Anything in particular I can help you with?
Stuff like maybe rope, strings,
Yes.
anything to
let me-
tie something up.
Hold on.
Net.
I had to grab my player's handbook because that's where all the inventory is, and I'll tell you the price in a second.
Could I also potentially sell things to this guy?
Yeah, you can.
Do you have anything to sell?
I do.
Oh, you have that bear stuff, but like,
Yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna sell.
Okay, so you want like rope?
Something that like I'm trying to make like a weapon, something like to tie two like bones together. String, rope, anything like that.
Well, you can get silk or hempen rope. Hemp rope
Hempen.
is 1 gold piece for 1 gold for 50 feet. Silk rope
Okay.
is 10 gold for 50 feet.
So I'm gonna guess that silk rope is stronger.
Yes, but
Okay,
it's
hold
more
on.
expensive.
Let me just look. As I'm looking, can I like oh yeah, okay. Silk rope? Is what
Silk.
you said?
Yeah, silk or hemp. Those are the two options you have.
Okay. So I guess I'll take one silk rope. One 50-foot silk rope.
All right, that's 10 gold.
And gold. I hand it to him.
All right.
Let me just, get my gold situated. That'll be 10 pieces of gold. Back.
All right. You now have yes.
Okay. Let me add that to my inventory while I'm doing that. Can I ask him, what's the game around here? What kind of animals live around these parts?
Well, you won't find too much on the edge of the city because of the wild magic zone, but in the forest, not too far from here, the deep woods, you can find large insects.
Let's see. Okay. That's fine. Then
Say again?
I will. What you say?
Oh, I was talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
All right. Then I guess I ask him, how much would a black bear forearm be worth to you?
Do you like produce it so you can see?
Yeah, I like
All right. He takes it.
handing it out.
He takes it and he takes it with like this death nimbleness. He just pries it out of your hand. You don't even feel it move. And he like gives it one, like he turns it over, looks at it. Goes, "This is a fine job skinning. I don't even see any marrow or viscera." He goes, "I'll give you 60 copper for it."
How much is 60 copper in terms of like?
If you look at gold,
Oh, let me see.
yeah, so 100 copper is 1 silver.
Okay.
10 silver is 1 gold. I don't know about Electrum. Nobody uses Electrum. 10 gold is a platinum, I think. Let me. I'm gonna Google this to be safe. I just want to be 100% sure because it's been a while since I've had to do the rate. So yeah. So I'm sorry. 10 copper is worth 1 silver.
Okay.
100 copper is worth 1 gold.
Okay. You know what? That's a fair enough trade. Fair enough trade.
All right.
60
so
copper was it?
60 copper.
All right. Fair enough trade.
All right.
By the way,
Yes.
I just reading my character stuff. I have advantage on deception and performance checks.
Okay, so that means you roll twice, take the highest number. That's good to know.
Yeah, I forgot because I feel like I could have done something better earlier.
How do we check that?
It's going further. We know now, but you can't go back
Okay.
and like retcon
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's too far.
I know.
Like for that instance with the blue dragonborn, you would have been able to probably get a higher roll, but we know that now. We'll go forward knowing.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you check
Want to
that?
let you know.
What do you mean check that?
I forgot.
How did you just realize that, Eddie?
I was looking at my features and traits.
Yeah, it's in your features and traits. It tells you.
Okay. So it's under proficiencies?
Yes.
So basically, if it's under proficiencies, I have advantage over that.
No. Proficiencies just means you add your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Your class features will determine if you get like advantage or not.
Okay. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm just gonna guess I don't have it.
Yeah, it also might be in racial traits. Just check that. But back to it. Melody, as you are leading through the city with Pence, you see there's a large guard presence. There's a lot of them standing around. They're like at every street corner, heavily armored, spear in one hand, shield in the other, just monitoring the lay of the land. You do see a fair amount of civilians, but it looks like they are just in and out, like they're making shopping trips. They're going from house to house. They're not trying to stay out in the street too long.
Okay.
But eventually, he leads you to a 3-tiered building with a sign on the entrance with a goblin woman holding 2 mugs of ale and a big smile. And Pence goes, "My friend Mike will cater to you. He can get you food and drink on the cheap and free, not free housing, but cheap housing."
All right.
But as you enter, it's kind of dead. There's not a lot of people. There's maybe like 3 or 4 just eating a meal, drinking their drink. As you clear your throat.
No, I was clearing my throat.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, no. But Pence leads you in, and you see a dwarven gentleman sitting behind the bar. Deep brown skin, dull eyes, red apron with simple clothes. And he's just sitting there cleaning a glass, and he like looks over and goes, "Ah, Pence, my friend, welcome." And he like, "Who are your compatriots? Are they here for drink? Are they here for food?" But Pence, go ahead.
I walk over to him and introduce myself and Kip.
He goes, "Wow."
And tell him we're from the Hellhounds and we're here to help.
He goes, "Oh, the Hellhounds." And he goes, "Well, I am Mike Soul. I run and own this inn with my wife, Sophia." And he gestures over to the side, and you see bringing a drink to a table is a goblin woman. Dressed in a long gown with flowers, like a sundress. And she's just handing out drinks along with 2 other human women who are wearing standard bartender attire. But they kind of like, she like nods in your general direction. And Mike goes, "But are you here for room, food, both?"
I kind of turn to our guide and kind of
Just
like ask him, why are we here?
He goes, "It's just to get you a place to sleep for the night." He goes, "It's on me. I'll pay for the night. And in the morning, you can begin looking for the Durgar's base of operations. Consider this a place to just gather and gain information." Mike has his ear to the ground. He can tell you lots of things about the city.
What time is it right now?
It's like, I'd say, because of the way the world works, in the Hellhound base, it was like morning, but you're on like the opposite side of the world, so it's like close to dusk.
Okay.
But he kind of like just, ask him any questions you have. He can guide you through the city, and however you find the base, just report it to Pin and move from there.
Okay.
But as he does this, that is where we'll end it for tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. I got to go to a dinner. But
Okay.